Good evening, Olivier. I hope you are doing great today. Welcome to another episode of Design Class. All right, so before we dive into this, I would love to say this that in as much as we are trying to achieve our aim, our goal, which is to design, okay, we should. That's why most of the time I'm always working towards materials like this to help you to be knowledgeable about what you intend to do, because if the knowledge is out of it, definitely um it will become shallow, and such individual will not be able to be strong to achieve that particular goal. And for sustainability and for long term goal, I mean, being a graphic designer, you just have to understand and undergo this principle. And at the essence of going through this principle, definitely you still have some set of people that are ahead of you. I mean, sort of people that are willing to learn this design, that you can actually still extend this knowledge to, so as for them to also learn how it works. All right. So basically, today we are going to be looking at the designer's resource vault. Okay, the designer resource vault. And when we talk about resource vault, we are talking about those things, those elements that that we use to build up designs that you find attracting, that you see across the street, the banner, the design you see online, everything are all created with various resources and elements. Yeah, definitely. If you, for example, uh, if you if you come in contact or come across a building in your environment, in your community right there, so you would look at it very well. Wow, this building is nice. Even the architect designed it as well as the contractor and you know the bricklayer who actually work towards achieving that purpose. So, and do you know that the design, when if you look at that house, for example, you feel like, oh, this house is beautiful, the design is nice, but you should also look at the other way around, that the design or the house itself is made up of different elements: cement, sand, granite, paint, different iron. So everything, including what is made up of in the interior and the exterior. So everything is like they are all created with elements. So same thing applies to the graphic design. Same thing applies to your design project. Yeah, you have to source out for elements, and you can't just you know enter your workspace and said you want to design without having knowledge of where to outsource your resources. So we are going to be looking at stock images, PNGs and icon, mockups, fonts, inspiration, and background remover. Those are what we are going to be looking at today, because you have some images, you wouldn't want to place those image on your design without removing those background. And nowadays things have actually changed. All are those days when I have to use my lasso tools to start cutting out picture. But for for easy for flexibility and and all, we just have to make use of, there are some applications that have evolved, AI applications that would cut your picture out of the background accurately and neatly, even still preserving the effect, okay, around 90% out of 100%, the way it should be. And it's something you could still bring into your design workspace and edit to get to 100%. All right, so let's look at know your file format first. So before we dive into stock images, PNG, mockups, and all. You just have to know your file format first. So before downloading anything, understand what format you need. So now let's look at the first format. We have JPG format. So JPG format is photos. It's talking about photos and backgrounds. All right, photos and backgrounds. So if, for example, you come up with your phone camera to snap, so whatever might be the outcome of that picture is automatically JPG, because you snapped and the background is actually appearing. Everything you snapped at that particular point in time showing up on your phone, it's automatically JPG. All right, so, and that's compressed photo format, no transparency, great for background, hero images, and photography. Yeah, whatever be the background is still going to show. That's JPG. Now coming to PNG basically is talking about transparent elements. So it supports transparency, used for logo. It's actually used for logo. It is used for icons, cutout objects placed on any background. So for example, if you have come across designs that you see Facebook icon, Instagram icon, location icon, or any icon, no matter what, they are not just there for, like, they're not just there automatically. Okay, some set of designers picked it or downloaded it from a website, and they had to cut it out of the background, because basically all the images on the website are always there with background, and they are always automatically JPG. So for us to convert it to PNG, you have to cut it out of the background so that it can relax on your design, so it can make your design more beautiful. All right, so we also have SVG. SVG is scalable vector. Okay, so infinitive scale with no quality loss. Those are infinitive scale with no quality loss. So there are some file format like this file format now will help you. It's actually good for logo. Yeah, perfect for logos, icons, and illustration. So if you're a logo designer, yeah, we always recommend SVG to convert your file format, because by the time you send your logo to your client can zoom, and the application we use for logo is CorelDRAW or Adobe Illustrator. So by the time you export your file in SVG, definitely such such clients will be able to zoom in what you give to him, be able to see what you did for him, and everything will be smoother, not blurry. That's SVG for us. Now we have PSD. PSD are editable mockups, alright? So those are Photoshop layers. So PSD is really just is a file format majorly for Photoshop, and sometimes it could be manipulated on Adobe Illustrator. So PSD on Photoshop, yeah, you can download PSD on website and bring it on Photoshop, and and disassemble the design to suit your purpose, to suit whatever you want to work on. I remember when I was in school, I don't have this luxury of time to design certificates at that point in time that I was called to work on certificates. And I was like, oh, I don't have time. They begged and begged. What did I do? I had to just go to a website called FreePic. I know you should know FreePic, right? So FreePic is actually a website, yeah, where we go to get our design resources and elements. So I just downloaded PSD format of a beautiful certificate I saw, and thank God it wasn't premium, it was free, because back then we are students struggling, and we can't afford premium. Yes, we can't even afford to eat good food, not to talk of premium, because we don't even have a better client that would encourage us to say we want to start getting premium. So as at then, I was lucky to see a template that was free, and I downloaded that template in PSD format uploaded it on Photoshop, and I disseminated. I mean, I disassembled the design and reconstructed it to suit my certificate, remove their logo and put my own logo. I was able to edit it. That's why they say PSD is Photoshop layer, editable mockups and all. So we also have GIF. So simple animations. So those are simple animations you could export your file to, or you could create short looping animations limited to 265 color. Yeah, it doesn't have all the basic colors that it requires, but it's limited to 265 color used for banners and stickers. Yeah, so we also have TTF and OTF font file. These are font files actually, so install on your computer to use in Canva, Photoshop, Illustrator, or any design tool. So those are those are five formats. All right, now coming to stock image. Five formats is the basic things to understand, so I would really appreciate you pay attention to that, because it will really guide you on how to download your image. So if you encounter a website, and a website where you could get your design resources, and as you want to get your design resources, you can have it at the back of your mind that, oh, these are five formats, I know them, so which one are you picking? Which of those five formats is going to work for you at that particular point in time? Is it going to be JPEG? Is it going to be PNG? Is it going to be SVG? So which of those five formats is going to work for you at that particular point in time? So now moving on, we have the stock image. So stock image are high quality photography for backgrounds, post, art, and more. So stock image are websites where you could get images to help enhance your design, to help illustrate the visual communication or whatever you are trying to communicate visually. So stock exchange is one of is basically talking about different websites where you can get image elements. All right, so we have the first one. We have the stock photography. Okay, they are called stock photography. You see some people carrying laptop, some people smiling, some people holding phone, some people shouting, some people like opening their mouth as if they are shouting, some people holding microphone or this megaphone. So for example, you want to come up with a flyer with an announcement. Okay, you want to come up with an announcement, probably for an organization or an institution, and you wouldn't just want to write or type something like an announcement. So as a graphic designer, we need to be creative, we need to think, we need to sit and think creatively. And at the essence of doing that, you got to remember that, no, yeah, you need an image to illustrate the announcement, to depict the fact that, okay, even if people are not even reading those elements, they could see through to what the design is talking about through that image. Okay, to that stock photography. So you could go to Freepik, either Freepik or Pinterest or Pixabay, to download your pictures from that. Okay, to and cut it out, then using it on that particular flyer to illustrate the announcement. And most people nowadays, they barely read. So once they could see a stock photography on that flyer, they already know what is happening. So it's actually one of which is gonna enhance our visual communication. Yeah, definitely. So now we have the first one is Unsplash. Okay, Unsplash is actually the gold standard for free. It's the gold standard for free photography. All right, over 3 million high resolution photo, all free for commercial use, best for lifestyles, nature, architecture, and abstract shots. That is Unsplash. Unsplash is actually a site where you can download picture from. They also have Pixel. So Pixel is also another site where you can download free photo and free video in one place. Okay, excellent for social media content, strong collections of diverse people and modern workspace. So when you're talking about strong collections, of diverse people. We are talking about different culture that design are actually in dynamics. You might want to work on a cultural form of design. You might want to work on a design for an organization. You might want to work on you might want to work for a conference, and your conference can actually be themed Nigeria cultural heritage. And if such design content is actually centered on Nigeria cultural heritage, definitely you need, and if the content is actually talking about villages in Ibadan or villages across Nigeria, so you need images that will depict, okay, the existence or the landscape of Africa, Nigeria as a case study at that particular content, right? So we also have free pick. Yeah, this is very popular, and this is what most designers use, especially for their mock-ups. Okay, so free pick enormous, it's actually like it's an enormous library. People pay for it. I once paid for it a long time ago, and yeah. So photo vectors, PSD, and illustration. Free tiers require attribution, premium remove watermark, best in all in one resources site. Yes, one of the best sites I've ever encountered is free pick. If you have your money to unlock the premium, oh my god, you enjoy it. Because the premium, you can download the premium, but you won't be able to use it because it's watermarked already. So for you to remove the watermark, you need to pay for the premium. And they have the best quality image ever. They have the best quality image ever, and they really helped to with different file formats that we observe from this angle. Definitely there are some logo inspiration you could get from free pick, and you download them from SVG. So nowadays things are very much easy. It is that most designers in this our current time are being manipulative. Likewise me too. I was saying there's a design I worked on this evening for a real estate company. So I manipulated a test effect. So nowadays we should just enhance or find a way to manipulate, because time is not on our side. So but before you manipulate, basically you need to understand the principle. All right. So now we also have Pixabay. Pixabay is also a site where we go to download our vectors, our images. We also have Shutterstock. This is the most popular. This is also a part of the most popular site where you can get image. Just go to your Google. Maybe you are trying to search for an image. Shutterstock will bring it out directly. Not even Pinterest, not even free pick. So as maybe probably when you are diving in further, you can now encounter free pick. You can now mistakenly or migrated into free picks application. So Shutterstock is actually very popular. So we also have stock snap. Okay, we also have raw pixel, we have flick, we have pick wizard, we have Victezy. Oh my god, this Victezy is this the owner of this Victezy is actually a graphic designer, and I've met with him in person. Is the name of is he's not my friend, but we met online, and we met in person at Lorraine. He's very popular. He designs for people, and he has his own brand. He creates elements, creates background. This Victezy, if you go to Pinterest, he's very popular on Pinterest. He creates background for graphic designer to use. He creates beds, he creates logos, he creates many things. He is so creative that many designer got to use his platform, got to use the resources he created as a source to help their design career. So yeah, so let's look at some pro tips searching stock sites. So use descriptive emotional keywords rather than literal ones. Instead of woman walking, try focus creative studio or modern office candid. You will get more original results that feel like generic. Any download, like always download the largest available resolution. You can always size down, never up. Okay, because by the time you are downloading from all these sites, by the time you cut it out, definitely you cannot size it up. you can only size it down. So at the verge of sizing it down, your quality is being preserved, except you have a direct picture from the studio and you bring it up on your Photoshop or your work design workspace and cut it out with your hand. That's when you are going to have your accurate 100% quality. But in most cases, the quality are not always required, because usually icons, okay, take for example icons, location icons, Facebook icons, you don't need to you don't need to bring it up like ensuring they are very very large for everybody to see. It's something that would look tiny on the flyer, so something like that could take a low resolution and all. So and like they even cited example on how you could search for resources. For example, probably you want to work on a design and you are like, okay, you need a woman walking. So instead of typing a woman walking, which look literal, so you could say focused creative studio or modern office candid. Those are one of the things you could search. Something that is more something that is not literal, okay, that you can use to search for an element that would suit your design at that particular point in time. So we are moving on. We have which doc site for which job. So yes, those are one of the things you would highlight. Okay, which doc site for which job. So creative slash artistic projects use on Splash. Business slash corporate work, you use Pixels or Pick Wizard for diverse people in professional settings. Shutterstock for premium client work. So social media posts, we use Pixel for the editorial look. We use Freepik for illustrated template. Pixabay for quick, no credit needed grabs. So most of our designs are always social media designs, because there's no how you end up designing and you end up not posting. So social media post. So we also have website background. This is for web designers. So now moving on, we have PNG icons and transparent assets. So when you talk about PNG, we are talking about transparent assets, talking about images that are always without background, icons that are always without background. So those ones, they feel relaxed on your design project, and yeah, they feel relaxed on your design project, and it's something you could, how should I put it? It's something that would really help. Yeah, it's something that really help your design to be more enhanced. I have somebody that designed a flyer. The person did not remove the background. He only placed it on it. I'm like, which kind of flyer did you design? You have to remove the background. Why some of them they will remove the background? The quality of the image is nothing to write home about. So yeah, so we have PNGG, yeah, pngg.com, one of the largest free PNG libraries, products, objects, characters, animals, all with transparent background, great for composition work. So these are PNG icons. Okay, this segment is actually like telling us the sites we could get our PNG file, even without struggling to remove background and all. So you can get them direct and download them direct. So PNGG. So they have free PNG libraries where you can get icons, images, and all that will suit your design purpose. So you also have Flaticon. Alright, Flaticon is actually the world's largest icon library. Over 9 million vectors, image in dozens of styles, flat, outline, 3D, download as SVG, PNG, or icon fonts, essential for UI UX design. So if you're a UI designer, okay, and you're a product designer, yeah, definitely Flaticon is actually the best for such individual. Yeah. So moving on, we have icon8.com. Okay, it's where we get our icon, illustration, and photo. So yeah, we also have the Now project. Oh my god, I've used this Now project sometimes ago. The Now project, and it's highlighted that over 5 million created icon and photo. Community contributed, great for finding icon, for every specific niche concept. Attribution required on free tier. So the Now project is basically basically where you could get logo inspiration, where you could get some images at the moment. So we also have PNG tree, we also have kind PNG, we have Vexel, we have Pick PNG, Top PNG, PNG Play, we have free PNG. So you can go over it, we can explore. But me, I don't. It's not like you just have to explore and pick one that would work for you. Basically, you are not meant to observe all. You're just meant to pick one that would really work for you. So we also have mock-up resources. Mock-up resources. So basically, before we move into that, what is mock-up? What is a mock-up? So a mock-up is a realistic preview that places your design inside a real world context, like showing your logo on a business card, your poster on a wall, or your app on a phone screen. So it helps clients and audience to see how a design will look in the real world before anything is printed or built. That is mock-up. I believe you understand that. So the first one is your design, logo, artwork, or graphics as JPEG or PNG. Then download PSD, then smart objects, then place and save. That's how to place it. So basically, this is actually the procedure on how to mock up something, basically. All right. So we also have smart mocks up. We also have different mock up. We have Placeit mock up. We also have Photopia. We have free pick mock up. So free pick, you can get mock-ups, okay, mock-up elements that will be very much useful for you. For example, maybe I designed a flyer and I want to display it on a laptop to show a client, and to show a client that this is how it look like on a laptop. So I have to just go to FreePic to download a laptop that doesn't have anything on the screen, that the screen is just white or blank. Then I'll be able to use that white space to mock up the design I have and presenting it to my client. That is mock up for us. So we also have on Blast. We have many more graphics family. So basically, I'm going to send this material to you so you can go over it. We also have font and typography. All right. So type is design. The right font changes everything. So typography, your text is the main design. So the right font changes what? Everything. So let's look at some fonts that we have. We have Google fonts. We have fonts Cruel. We have that font. We have 101 font. We have font space. We have B fonts. We have font spring. We have Uber fonts. We have abstract fonts. Okay. So everything that was mentioned here are not just fonts to use, but they are sites where you can download fonts from. Alright, so we have Uber fonts, but me, I always download my own fonts from Da Font. Da Font. That's where I always download my own site. So you could explore those sites and look through which one is going to favor you. Then you can now stick to it. Alright. So we also have, okay, let's look at the pro tip. Okay, pairing fonts. If strong pairing uses contrast, one decorative display font plus one clean body font. Right? Do you understand that? Like one decorative display font, then plus one clean body font. Those are the typography style of constructing your or coming up with a nice design. Right? Everything should not be looking clumsy or busy. One has to bend for one. I think we highlighted that across the design principle. Alright, so moving on, we have inspiration and reference. Okay, so for example, you are told to work on a design talking about and announcing that there will be a job opportunity and all. As an average person, there is no how you'll be able to think something creatively except you seek for inspiration. Even I personally too, I wanted today I designed for a real estate company. I seek for inspiration online. I checked on Pinterest. So Pinterest is actually one of the most powerful tools, one of the best tools or sites that we can seek out urgently, you know, inspiration or inspo as regards what the project you are about to execute. So we also have design resources. We have Behance. I also have Behance account where my designs are stored. So by the time you are coming up with your design and you observe your design are coming nice, so Behance is basically used to build portfolio for graphic designer as well. Yeah, to build for portfolio. So Adobe's portfolio platform, Siri professional work branding, UI packaging, illustration and all. So if you enter Behance, oh my god, you will see professional brandings, professional designs. Alright. We also have Dribble, we have Logo Book. Logo Book is actually where you can get your icons. Okay, icons like Facebook icons, Instagram icons, location icons, and aside from icons, Logo Book will give you inspiration on how to what erect a logo. Most people that are graphic designer can also try to come up with a logo. They can create logo, but in most times they might not have the resources to deliver. So they might not have the ability or thinking to deliver at that particular point in time. So the best thing or the best site to go, search for inspo is Logo Book. All right, Logo Book. So we also want to talk about background remover too. So that is cut subjects out of photos in seconds. No Photoshop skill needed. You don't need any Photoshop skill. Even some people even cut picture on TikTok. Some even cut picture on CapCut. So you can cut picture anywhere. No Photoshop skills required. So you can cut Photoshop anywhere. I mean your image, your photo or anything anywhere. So you can cut them out. All right. So yeah, we have different tools that are used to cut our pictures. The first one is Photo Room. All right. I will strongly recommend Photo Room. Photo Room is actually an AI, is an AI powered background remover with built-in editor. All right, add new background, shadow, and text and all. But me, I'm not concerned about the background because definitely I'm a graphic designer. I only need the picture without the background so I can manipulate it or blend it with my background on my workspace. So most of the time, Photo Room I will highly recommend Photo Room for you, even whenever you want to cut your picture. So you can go to your Play Store, Google Play Store, just type Photo Room, download the application, and you see how you could cut your picture. And here is another one, Pixel Cut. Oh my god, Pixel Cut is actually one of the best photo remover because it really preserve. If your image you are cutting out on Pixel Cut is 100%, it will just remove 2% out of it and it will still work out fine on your background and all. So also have remove.pg. I can't recommend remove.pg, but it's part of what you can use remove.pg to remove your icon. You are good to go, but remove.pg is not strong enough to cater for the quality you are looking for. So also have Canva background remover, erase.pb. So let's look at some workflow from photo to composition. So we have start with photo, clear subject. When you talk about clear subject, for example, if you want to snap, okay, you are definitely you are standing behind or you are standing in front of a background whenever you want to snap. No matter angle, no matter might be no matter might be the angle, okay, even if it's a corner of your house, even if it's at the back of your house, even if it's a school where you have people gathered and all, definitely you are standing in front of a background. So yeah, the best thing to do is to what and when you are standing in front of your background, definitely such individual or you yourself, you are the subject standing. So the backgrounds and every other thing, the flower in the background, the people in the background are what they are not subjects. They are actually not subjects. So they are actually objects. All right. So you are the subject. So and in Photoshop, whenever I want to cut picture, the application is always targeting what the subject of the what of the flyer. But once the subject is not there, definitely nobody when the subject is not there, definitely there's nothing to cut out from that background. Even if you try to cut it out, it will not cut out and it will not make sense. So the subject is always cut out of the background, which is the object. So we have remove background, download PNG, yeah, and composed layer on your design. So pro tip, better cut out result. For cleaner cut, short subject against a plain background, white, gray, or bright color. Avoid loose or filthy air where possible. Good lighting with no harsh shadow makes edges much cleaner. So the better your source photo, the better the AI cut out result. So most of the time there are some lady who has all these wigs, they put on wigs and the wig is now flying around, and they took the picture like that. Definitely on white background it will sound complicated because it's going to stick to the image, the air. Yes, it's going to stick to the air and all. So okay, so let's quickly look at this. We also have quick reference cheat sheet, stock image, PNG icon, mockup, font, and all. So those are the cheats. It's not really cheats, but those are the sites. Okay, for stock image, you can go to unsplash.com, pixel.com, freepik.com, pixabay.com, shutterstock.com, stocksnap.com, blah blah blah, victorz.com. For PNG and icons, you can go to pngg.com, flacticon.com. Everything, I think basically everything I highlighted from the above. Okay, so and by God's grace, the reason I promise to actually come up with practical class to see how I can cut out picture and all, but unfortunately I'm going to do that. That will be for tomorrow's class. All right, that will be for tomorrow's class. But I just want you to fully gain the knowledge of how to approach it, not just approaching it directly. You just have to understand or gain the knowledge of how to approach it. So I will be expecting questions after this video. So I'll be expecting questions. I'm open for questions, so please do ask questions, probably across what you don't understand or what seems not very clear to you, so you could ask. All right, so good night and take care of yourself. Yeah.